Hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? So, you know that every time I have the intention to talk about the different types of legal matters and contemporary matters, which is rationally important and rationally relevant for the present context and the future context. So, in today's discussion, I will discuss about the law enforcement agencies' capabilities and how they will make a very good Bangladesh in the future time also. So I think that law enforcement agencies, they are actually organization who has the authority to deal with this matter, who will definitely reduce the problem, reduce the terrorism problem from our society. But you know that in our recent time, it's actually not possible for the law enforcement agencies as they have faced lots of political, social, and cultural barrier in Bangladesh. First of all, they have to give up from the strategy. They have to give up from their authentic activities as they are mentioned during their lifetime of their activities. So first of all, I have to mention what is the core duty of the law enforcement agencies in Bangladesh. The first of all, the law enforcement agencies are the third stakeholders to deal with this terrorist, to deal with this different types of political offender or social offender in our society. So in that perspective, they have a lot of duties. The first duty is to they will identify the terrorist. They will identify the offender. Whenever they will identify the offender, in that time they will make some warrant issues or they will arrest the person according to the law and the legal procedure. This is the first duty of the law enforcement agencies. So during the time they are connected in different types of illegal matters with gratification, with different types of illogical matters. So this is not predictable. This is not the duty of the law enforcement agencies in Bangladesh. The second reason is that whenever they will identify the offender, they will mention the arrest warrant. Even they can arrest a person with warrant or without warrant. This is the core duty of the law enforcement agencies in Bangladesh. But rather, doing their activities, they are taking money from the offender. They are taking money from the third party. This is on kind of dishonest activities for the law enforcement agencies. If they are emphasized with these activities from the very beginning of their activities, how they will ensure the rule of law, how they will ensure the justification, how they will ensure the rule of just for the common people in Bangladesh. Is it literally possible? My answer is that it is literally not possible in Bangladesh. Whenever they have connected with the illogical and the illegal activities, as they are concerned to reduce the application, to reduce the law enforcement agencies from Bangladesh. So the third reason is that the law enforcement agencies has lots of option to reduce the different types of offense and offense related activities from our society. But my question is that how they will deal with this matter rationally and independently. So for these reasons, they have to make a very good independent society. They have to make a very good independent organization. But I think that law enforcement agencies in Bangladesh, they are not independent. They are politically affiliated. So my question is that whenever they are politically motivated, politically connected, how you will deal with this matter very profoundly or very importantly is it's actually not possible in the present context and the present observation in Bangladesh and the Bangladeshi practice. So the question may arise, how Bangladeshi government they will reform the law enforcement agencies in Bangladesh. The first reason is that they will get some strategical duty. They will take some effective duties as they can motivate the law enforcement agencies not to work politically motivated, not to work logically motivated, not to work any kind of person's activities. So first of all, they have to mention a very good organizational duty in their structure and in their sculpture, and by this way they will be more motivated in their activities, in their rational promotional activities. The second reason is that they will reform the whole structure, not take some authentic activities to reform the police sector, to reform the army sector, to reform the medical court sector, to reform the SPBN sector. First of all, they have to make the core identifiable motivation to make a apartheid, to make a independent law enforcement agencies in Bangladesh. And I believe that it will definitely possible in Bangladesh if the government take the collective issues for making a apartheid experienced and identification based law enforcement agencies in Bangladesh. Because why it is important for the law enforcement agencies, because you know that law enforcement agencies is the second stakeholders to initiate the rule of law, to initiate justification, to initiate the justice in our society. Whenever they will not working for their activities, it's literally not possible for the Bangladeshi government to implement the rule of law, rule of just, rule of equity, and to follow the activities according to following the our act, our convention, our institutional activities. So it will be their first duty to implement these types of activities and their surrounding activities for the ends of justice in Bangladesh. You know that Bangladeshi government has taken lots of identical activities, promotional activities for making so high, for making strong the law enforcement agencies. But till now, we did not get any kind of promotional finding of the law enforcement agencies. So what is the problem behind this? The basic problem is that our corruption. The second reason is that we are infrastructurally, we are not developed. The third reason is that they 90% of our political leaders, social leaders, even the leaders of the law enforcement agencies, they are politically motivated. Though we have everything, we have every structure, we have every institutional body, but we have to much more motivate ourselves in making a identify free country, in making a weaponized free country that will make a apartheid free country in Bangladesh in the future time also. So in that schedule to make a very good country, to make a very good law enforcement agencies in Bangladesh, my humbly request to the law enforcement agencies and the Bangladeshi government to work collectively, because if they work collectively, they will solve out the 90% problem that has been arising in the past time also. So in the past time, the situation was not as like that, because in the past time in Bangladesh, corruption could not achieve everything. Corruption could not connect in every structure. So from getting a very good source, from getting a very good result, the law enforcement agencies, they have to work positively and politely and perfectly, and by this way our Bangladesh will regain its lost pride, will regain its philosophical identity of our law enforcement agencies. And it is literally important not only for the development of our Bangladeshi perspective, but also it is also important for making a very good life for our common people and the common lifestyle, because the government's court activities obviously deal with the welfare of the common people's activities in the future time also. So I'm humbly requesting all the stakeholders of the law enforcement agencies to come forward to deal with this matter profoundly and properly. And I think that if the government will take these effective types of stereo logical effective issues in our Bangladesh system, that will change everything radically. So this is not a magic. This is some of the policies. If you take the policies in your present lifestyle, in your future lifestyle, everything will be changed. So I think that this is only possible if our government will take some authentic information based policies for the common development of our law enforcement agencies, of our infrastructure development, of our police source, of our military source, and everything will be polite, everything will be unique, and everything will be correctful in the future time also. So my humble request to the present government is to take these types of effective issues, not to develop the core identification of the law enforcement agencies, but to reform a core based, historical based, and information based logical interpretation of our laws and avenues in Bangladesh. Thank you.